Today's lesson will introduce the skills needed to solve basic algebraic equations or expressions. Here is a simple algebraic equation. 17 plus x equals 21. The whole objective of solving equations is to figure out the missing number. The x stands in for the missing number, which is also called a variable. In order to figure out what x is, we need to get the x to stand by itself. In order to do this, we should subtract 17 from the side of the equation with the x. But remember, whatever you do to one side of the equal sign, you must do to the other. Therefore, if you subtract 17 from the x side, you must also subtract 17 from the 21. Now you can see that 17 minus 17 equals 0, and 21 minus 17 equals 4. Remember that 0 plus any number or variable is basically invisible. Since the 0 doesn't change the equation, rewrite it as x equals 4. This means that the missing number from the equation 17 plus x equals 21 is 4. Let's move on to another kind of algebraic equation. Here we see 4x equals 40. When you see a number directly followed by a variable, this means that the 4 and x are multiplied together to make 40. In this equation, we must do the opposite action of multiplication to solve for x. This means we need to divide both sides of the equal sign by 4. What happens when you divide a number by itself? A number divided by itself equals 1. Therefore, when you divide 4x by 4, you are left with a 1 times x. And on the other side of the equation, you must also divide by 4. And what happens when you multiply anything by 1? Any number or variable multiplied by 1 is itself. So when you go to clean up your answer, you get x equals 10. If you plug the 10 in place of the x in the original equation, you get 4 times 10 equals 40. If you remember the golden rule of anything you do to one side of the equal sign you must do to the other, then you should be prepared to solve any algebraic equation. There are many careers in the world that use math every day. Doctors use math in many ways, including measuring medication, reading medical charts, and even in surgeries. Astronauts also use an extensive amount of math in their everyday jobs. They calculate the distance from here into space, use math to train themselves for missions, and also use logic reasoning to problem solve. How about robots? Robotics engineers use lots of math in their daily jobs. They measure angles and lengths, weight, and height of their robots in order to make them run smoothly. And best of all, teachers use math. Teachers use math to calculate grades, and they use their math knowledge to teach others about how to use math. There are many exciting careers out there with strong math backgrounds, so let's jump right in and start solving equations. Thank you for watching, and I expect to see an A+ on all of your quizzes today.